Hey, what up, people? So, good thing you clicked on this video, because it's not the average video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Star Wars prequels, and then I think in the next few days I'll probably do the original Star Wars, and then I'm going to do the upcoming Star Warses that are coming out. I just want to do some Star Wars talk, so this is how I'm going to do it. We're going to do the prequels today, and that's going to be 10 minutes long about. Hopefully you can watch the whole thing, because please, And then we're going to do the originals, and that's going to be about 10 minutes long, and then I'm going to talk about the new Star Wars is coming out, and that's going to be about 10 minutes long, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on each trilogy that is either to come or that is released. And the new Nerd Talk is going to be released probably, what's today? Maybe tomorrow, probably. So, yeah. Let's just get started. So, I just watched the, A New Hope, Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope, and that got me thinking, maybe I should make a YouTube series where I talk about the Star Wars, the three trilogies, and, so I just want to get started with the prequels. I'm gonna do it in, chronological order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 that aren't even released yet, but I'm still gonna talk about them. So let's just get started with the prequels here. So, a lot of people hate the prequels. Just about everybody I've talked to hates the prequels to death, and I'm pretty much the same way. The first and the second one were god-awful. They were so bad. Terrible casting choices, no acting whatsoever. The first one, the dialogue is terrible, there's no character development. Qui-Gon Jinn dies in... The first time I saw The Phantom Menace, I didn't really care. All I watched the original prequels when I was a kid. I watched them for the lightsaber fights. Because, okay, I'm not gonna lie. The lightsaber fights are actually pretty cool in the prequels. But that's not what the movie's about. It's not about the lightsaber fights. It's more of the characters, how they develop the story, and the story was there. The story was there, but George Lucas didn't tell it in the right way. This is what he did. He had no sets. He just took a bunch of CGI and green screen, and he just threw some stupid CGI characters in there so he could make it look cooler, or I don't know, new technology. It could have been grittier and better and actually use sets, not stupid green screen. And Jar Jar Binks, oh my god. Jar Jar Binks was the whole reason that the first movie didn't work, okay? So the first movie was god-awful. Worst one yet, in the whole Star Wars of anything. I mean, it had the story, but it didn't tell it in the right way. There was, so many pacing problems. 1 minute, we're fighting the Battle of Gungans or whatever, and then the next minute, Qui-Gon Jinn dies, and we go back to Padme, and she's, shooting up droids. It's what? No, the pacing is not there, man. Then also the character development was terrible. I didn't feel anything for Qui-Gon Jinn. He gets stabbed by Darth Maul. I didn't care. Who cares? I don't care. Liam Neeson died. Big deal. He's just gonna come back in Taken 2, and that movie sucked too, so... That's so great, okay? And then we also got Darth Maul, who literally said, 2 words in the whole movie. He could have been, the coolest villain in movie history, but instead he was just this guy with horns, red face, and he said 2 words, and then he died. They could have saved him in Attack of the... They could have, redid his body, or whatever, in Attack of the Clones, and he could have been, this guy coming back revenge on Obi-Wan Kenobi. It could have been, this awesome duel that was personal, and that would have been great, but it wasn't there. So, overall, I would give Phantom Menace, a star. We're gonna do it out of 4. I'm gonna give it a star, 1 star out of 4. The character development wasn't there. The story was not told in a good way. It was a good story, but not told in a good way, okay? And it was just terrible. Next, we got Attack of the Clones. This one, in my opinion, had the worst acting of any movie. I'm gonna reenact a scene from Attack of the Clones. Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala when they're on Naboo and they have their honeymoon or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Okay? So I will reenact this scene for you right now. I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. That is literally what Anakin said to Padme. Okay? That is some of the worst script writing I've ever... that was god awful. And then he acted it like he was like Kristen Stewart, like he put no character into it. It was so stupid, okay? And once again, the story was there, but they did not tell it in a good way. George Lucas wrote the script for all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He wrote it for all the movies, but he couldn't make a whole giant, long movie. And so he told the original trilogy first, and then did the prequels, after. And the story was there, man. It was there, but he didn't tell it in a good way. He had terrible actors, a terrible script. I don't even know where he was going with it. I mean, like, there was a few upsides. Once again, they had the whole CGI thing where everything was CGI. There was no sets. In the original trilogy, they actually had sets, believe it or not. They actually went, on the Tatooine, they actually went to a desert. If it was the prequels, they wouldn't have gone to a desert. They just would have put a green screen there and said, you're in a desert. Just pretend like you're in a desert. You have to do it in a real set, or else it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel alive, if you know what I mean. The universe doesn't feel real. And that's just not... Like, there was a lot of places where George Lucas could have done sets, but he didn't. Because this is 21st century, because it's CGI spectacular. I mean, they had a few things going for this movie, but it wasn't, okay, so they took out more Jar Jar Binks, that was good, but there was still so many politics. The politics in the first movie is huge, like, half of the movie was politics. I couldn't take it. The second movie, it was less politics, but there was still a lot of politics. The third movie, I'll talk about that after this one, but they took out a lot of the politics, which is good. They took out a lot of Jar Jar Binks, which is good. But they still had Jar Jar Binks in there, but it was not as much as the first one. And then the lightsaber fights were extra cool this time. I mean, they're on Geonosis, and then they're all surrounded in this arena, and then all these Jedi come out of nowhere, and they're like, if I was strapped down, if somebody strapped me down and forced me to watch Episode 1 and 2, I would only do it for those lightsaber fights. Like, it was so cool, because they're all battling each other, and then there's the droids everywhere, and it was awesome. That was really, really cool. That was, like, literally the only reason why I watched those movies as a kid, because I would take out my little plastic lightsabers and reenact the battles. It was really fun. Overall, I'd give Attack of the Clones 2 stars, because it was better than the first one, but it still was terrible. Now moving on to Revenge of the Sith. In my opinion, this was the only good in the prequels. Like, this was the only good movie in the prequels. I actually kind of like this one. Everybody's like, the prequels sucked. And I actually liked the third one. First and the second one got awful. The third one actually was not that bad. Some of the reasons why I like the third one was because, well, it was very dramatic. I kind of like dramatic things. I like the whole Execute Order 66. It always brings a tear to my eye when you see all those Jedis die. That was a rhyme. That was really cool. I rapped there. But it had better acting than the first and second one. I'm not saying Hayden Christensen is like a Jesus actor, but it was better. I mean, the chemistry was kind of there between Obi-Wan and Anakin, kind of. It was better than the second movie. The second movie is god-awful. And the action scenes were there, man. They were pretty good. Like, especially the final lightsaber duel with Anakin and Obi-Wan. It was pretty good. And then they also got the Emperor and Yoda. Like, it was, like, merged together. That was pretty cool. They also, like, so they had the decent acting. Not the best. They had the good story. That was actually, I think George Lucas, that was probably, he told the story the best in Revenge of the Sith. He did that well. The pacing was nice. Lightsaber fights were there, man. The lightsaber fights were probably the best. And they also had all those choreographed things. Those were pretty cool. I could actually follow it. There wasn't as many politics. And probably the best part of all, there was no Jar Jar Binks. There's probably like one scene where he's like, Misa gotta go or something. I don't care. I don't care what he said. He might not have even said anything. I don't remember. All I know is that he wasn't in there as much, so yeah. The movie did have its faults. But overall, I'd give this one a solid 3 out of 4. I think each movie got better, but still the first one and the second one were god-awful. The third one was not that bad, and I would actually watch that. I would rewatch that again. Probably not as much as, like, I would watch, like, A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. But I would watch it again. Like, I actually kind of like that one. So, comment your thoughts down below. I got the next Nerdy Nerd Talk coming in. I actually got some Star Wars news, which is pretty funny. In the next few days, I will post the next one where I talk about the original trilogy, and then probably next few days after that, I will talk about the new trilogy to come out, directed by J.J. Abrams. That's gonna be pretty cool, and see you, goodbye.